Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. I'm Andres Calvache, Procurement Specialist at Connecticut APEX Accelerator, and I'll be your host for this session. This webinar is brought to you by the Connecticut APEX Accelerator. We're covering the contract ready checklist for doing business with the state in collaboration with DAS. Before we begin, I want to highlight a few housekeeping notes. Please use the Q&A tool to submit your questions at any time. We'll address as many as possible during the Q&A session at the end. A copy of today's slides and any rough drafts will be sent to all attendees after the webinar. And this session is unclassified and is being recorded for future reference. Without further ado, let's begin today's discussion with a brief intro to Connecticut APEX. Okay, so who we are. Connecticut APEX is actually funded by the DOW and a collaborative effort with the CEDC here in Connecticut. Our host agency is Sector, that's located out in Groton. And our main purpose is to help small businesses enter the government contracting space. We provide this through loads of education, event workshops, and training seminars, and of course, one-on-one free counseling. These are some of our strategic partners listed throughout all of Connecticut. We partner with many different municipalities, as long as the SVDC, the SBA, and of course, the DAS. And here's a list of some of the services that Connecticut APEX offers at no cost. One-on-one counseling, as mentioned. We assist with state and federal registrations. That's either your SAM, or for some of you who need the SMBE certification, we assist with that as well. We also have a deep connections with a lot of the primes and the business pushers here within Connecticut, so we can help establish those relationships for small businesses to get an understanding of who it is they should be talking to and ensuring that their ROI is well met. As well as marketing. Part of that is dealing with your capability statement. It's a resume that you as a business owner have to present within the government contracting space, as well as understanding where your win is at. What is the value that you provide? We do help with a lot of the market research that small businesses often lack in order to get the best amount of bang for their buck when it comes to reaching out to government entities. And one of the big key things that are looming for anyone involved or interested in doing and participating with government contracting, the cybersecurity maturity model certification, or CMMC. It's mandatory, just as mandatory as your SAM is. So please keep that in mind when you reach out to your counselors if you know or understand where you're going to be going to into the federal government contracting space. And without further ado, let us continue with DAS.
Share. Nicola, are you seeing the
I am.
slide?
Thank you, Shelley.
Great.
Yes, I am. Hello, everyone. My name is Nicola Reynolds, and with me today is my colleague, Shelley Orrs. We are from the Department of Administrative Services, Procurement Services Division, and we are part of the Business Access team. DAS Procurement serves as the state of Connecticut's primary procurement agency, managing the contracts that the state agencies rely on to get the goods and services that they need to operate every day. We're committed to a fair, competitive, and transparent procurement process that promotes integrity and creates opportunities to Connecticut's business community. Our team's mission is to help businesses connect with state contracting opportunities through training, hands-on support in our business clinics, and community outreach. During today's presentation, we will answer 3 questions for you. The first one would be, why should you consider contracting with the state? Is your business ready to contract with the state? And what are the steps to get started?
Good morning. So we are going to start with the first question. Why should you contract with the state? The state can be a very important customer to help you in expanding your business. And to demonstrate how, we are going to cover the 5 C's of contracting with the state of Connecticut. And our first C is competition. So there is a myth that the state has a list, and if you want to do business with the state, you have to get on this list. That is an absolute myth. There is no list. We take pains and pride in practicing a competitive and transparent procurement process. And this benefits both sides of the equation. It benefits us with better pricing, and it benefits you with more opportunity.
So the second C we want to talk about is commodities. We contract a wide variety of goods and services. Last year alone, the state spent $1.1 billion on 1,522 contracts. If you have a product or service that you want to sell to us, feel free to explore that process.
Our third C is continuity, and the value of this cannot be understated. We offer continuous opportunities. So it does not matter if the economy is going strong, if we're going through a downswing. We are a consistent buyer of the goods and services that we need to do business on a daily basis. This is unlike the private sector, right? Our demand is actually largely unaffected by these economic cycles.
And the fourth C is customers. If you are successful, state contracting expands your customer base. When we award a contract, that contract is available to all state agencies who will potentially use that contract to make purchases. In addition, most of our contracts are available to the municipalities and state educational institutions.
So our final C is compensation. Compensation. And put quite simply, we pay our bills. So for the majority of companies, our payment terms are net 45 days. But for businesses that are certified in our small business certification program, it is 25 days. And we are going to jump into that into some detail, that certification later in our presentation.
So for our second question, are you ready to contract with the state? We have created a checklist to help guide you in your preparations for state contracting work. Before we begin, it's important to note that we are providing you with general guidelines today. Every bit is different, so this list does not cover the needs for every opportunity, but it does cover the most common ones.
So the first item on our checklist is confirm business compliance. You are going to need to make sure that your business is set up correctly, that it is in compliance with all government and industry requirements. So a few items to consider. First is to ensure that your business is registered with the Connecticut Office of the Secretary of State. Every business type, except for sole proprietorships and general partnerships, do need to be registered with the Secretary of State. You will also need to obtain a federal employer identification number, an FEIN. Now, some businesses do use their social security number. It is definitely not a best practice. And if you're going to get into contracting, it's very, very important that you get that EIN. Also, you're going to need to make sure that all of your required business and trade licenses are both current, are current and active.
Now, do you have the capacity to complete the work being contracted, and can you demonstrate that? You will need to provide evidence of relevant experience. At DAS, we have made a conscious effort to make it easier for companies to qualify for bids. One of the ways we did this is by allowing relevant experience to be demonstrated through the experience of company principals, not just the company itself. This allows newer businesses or those expanding in new areas to qualify for bids. Please note that this is not the case in every bid, but where possible, we have made these changes. We made another change with equipment. Where possible, businesses no longer need to own the required equipment, but must have access to it. This makes it easier for companies with less resources to participate in bids. Also, you have to make sure that you have the financial capacity to work on a government contract. You must be able to pay yourself and your workers while you wait for payment from us. Although not required, we recommend submitting a capability statement with bids. This is a great way to show relevant experience and capacity. Be sure to include any certifications, even if they are not from the state of Connecticut. These may provide added value for your bid.
So third on the list, review requirements. Now, before submitting a bid, you of course need to make sure you meet the bid requirements, right, for the solicitation. But it's also very important to make sure that you can meet those awardee requirements in case you win the bid. First on the list would be insurance. Your company needs to meet very specific insurance requirements, and these are going to be outlined in the bid. So make sure you're working with the right insurance company. Now, legal representation can also be very helpful. You're going to specifically want a lawyer with experience in public sector contracts. They can be helpful in navigating negotiations if applicable. That is not always applicable, but if applicable, they can be very helpful with that. They can always be helpful with understanding contract terms. You definitely do not want to sign a contract unless you understand every word in that contract. Depending on the type of solicitation, for example, a request for proposal, some may require more legal assistance than others. Now, speaking of contract terms, indemnification, you want to make sure you understand that because if you are awarded a contract, your company will be required to accept liability for acts of omission. So you need to make sure that you understand what that is and that you're willing to accept this before you put any time into building a bid proposal. Finally, procurated. Now, this is a public sector supplier review site. So it's like Yelp or Amazon, the Amazon review. We all use reviews, right? We're pretty comfortable with those in general, I think. We use those too. Procurated is available. Now we're going to review all of your Connecticut work on Procurated. And across the country, all public procurement departments that use Procurated, they're going to see your reviews, not just other Connecticut businesses, but across the country. So you want to make sure that you are up to the job so you can get a positive review.
Now, if you are a Connecticut small business, you may be eligible for our the certification program or small business certification program. We are going to get into details on that a little bit further in the presentation.
Our fifth and final item on the checklist is to register on CTsource. This is related to that question, how do you contract with the state? So contracting with the state of Connecticut starts with submitting a strong bid proposal. Businesses will submit a proposal in response to a solicitation that aligns with the goods and services that you offer. Awarded vendors are then added to the contract, and state agencies will have the opportunity to make purchases through that contract. So that's how that whole process works. Solicitation and contracting, that whole process is managed on CTsource, which is our state's contracting portal. It includes 3 sections: supplier registration, the bid board, and the contract board. Now, we are not going to go into further detail today because we are going to do a deep dive on this next Tuesday, May 5th. So we really hope that you will come back and join us for that presentation because that is really that is integral if you are going to get into the state contracting space.
So as promised, let's talk about the small business certification. There are two types of certification, the SBE, which is small business enterprise, and the MBE, which is minority business enterprise. All companies that participate in the program will be certified as small business enterprise. To qualify for certification, a business must meet the following requirements. Place of business must be in the state of Connecticut. It means the principal place of business, not just a branch here. It has to be the principal place of your business. The business must be registered as a small business in SAM, that is the federal government system for award management. And the business must operate independently, meaning it does not rely on another company for management, financial support, or essential resources. Some SBEs may also qualify for MBE certification, and to qualify for MBE certification, at least 51% of the company must be owned by a person or persons with minority status, and this includes members of racial or ethnic minorities, women, or an individual with a disability. In addition, this person or persons must have operational and management authority and be the primary decision maker for the business. They must receive the beneficial interest, and what this means is they receive the greatest benefit and they take the highest risk. And finally, they must possess technical expertise in the products and services that the company sells. Their expertise cannot exclusively be administrative unless this is the nature of the business.
We are going to move on to benefits and opportunities. So certification offers visibility, credibility, and opportunity for your business. So first, let's look at visibility. Be seen. Certified companies are listed in our small business directory. And this is a real benefit. Public and private buyers search this directory for contractors and subcontractors, and they may find your company and reach out to you. And a little bit later, we will do a live demo of this directory. Also, make connections. So sorry. You can get invited to matchmaker events, resource fairs, and procurement trainings. DAS and other partners offer these events, which give you the opportunity to connect directly with buyers. Next, we have credibility. So building trust. Buyers and corporate partners often use our certification as an enhancement in their own vetting process. We find out about these all the time. We don't even know all the opportunities that are out there where other organizations are using our certification. Also stand out. In line with this, we recommend, this certification becomes part of your marketing portfolio. So include it with all of your solicitation responses, non-state ones as well. This is a certificate. This certificate is a trusted credential. It's from your home state, showing your business is a vetted, small, independent Connecticut enterprise. And finally, we have opportunity. So get support. We strongly recommend, as I mentioned, register in CTsource, the state's contracting portal. Join us next week, right, for the deep dive. Certified companies may also receive hands-on guidance for registering in CTsource and in learning how to use it strategically to find contracting opportunities. And in terms of identifying opportunities, executive branch agencies across Connecticut have small business spending allocation goals. These goals are an important element in opening up opportunities for small and minority-owned Connecticut-based companies that have been certified in our program. And the intention of this program is to assist local businesses to identify opportunities.
So we have broken down the small business certification process into 3 steps. The process is detailed on our website and includes direct links to the application and resources if you need assistance. Today we'll walk you through the brief overview of these steps. Step 1, to apply as a for-profit business, you must first register your business with SAM, the federal government system for award management. Registration is free with SAM and it is valid for a year. Step 2, log into CT Gateway and fill out the small business application. Applying for certification in CT Gateway is also free and your certificate is valid for 2 years. Then step 3, your application will be reviewed by a member of our business access team. Applications are reviewed in the order that they are received, and this may take a few weeks before an application is assigned to a reviewer. All communication happens through email, so make sure you check your email regularly. The quicker you respond to the reviewer, the quicker your application will be processed. Once certified, you will receive a link to an electronic copy of your certificate. When it's time for you to renew your certification, the system will notify certified companies via a courtesy email beginning 120 days before your expiration. Please note that the reminder is a courtesy, so it is your responsibility to stay on top of your renewal.
So we're going to jump back to that first step, register in SAM, and talk a little bit more about that. Now, if you have a for-profit business, you are going to need to register in SAM. And very importantly, when you fill out the application, make sure you choose all awards. Now, we use SAM to determine if your business qualifies as small, and they will use your primary NAICS code to determine this. Every NAICS code has a small business threshold that's determined either by revenue or number of employees. And this is a really important addition that we made a few years back. We used to have one threshold, 20 million for all businesses. But according to industry, for some industries, that's too big, that's too much for us to be small. Others, it's too little. So SAM really allowed us to expand the playing field and make it more fair in terms of what businesses can qualify for this certification. Now, when you are in SAM, it's important you have to complete the entire registration process. You're going to first get a UEI, a unique entity ID, and many businesses think they're done. Probably not if you're working with Apex because they are the SAM experts. But you do need to actually go back in and continue your registration until you get your CAGE code, your commercial and government entity code. And you will actually need both of these numbers to complete our certification application. Now, if you're a nonprofit, you do not need to register for SAM. Instead, you're going to provide a tax return. And in this case, the 20 million threshold is what you need. You cannot exceed 20 million in revenue in the most recent fiscal year.
So for step 2, after you have registered in SAM, you log into CT Gateway to complete and submit your application. You can easily access CT Gateway from your phone, your tablet, or your computer, whichever works best for you. The site is secure, which means you can upload your documents safely. The slide you're looking at shows you exactly what the page will look like in CT Gateway. If you're new to certification, start by registering. The login page also includes links to our small business and pre-qualification directories. At the bottom of the page, there are yellow help buttons. Please use them to get some help. Doesn't mean we won't help you, but those buttons are very helpful to you.
So we are going to wrap up our review of the Small Business Certification Program by returning to one of the key benefits we highlighted. the directory, right? And we'll switch to a live demo of this. So if you'll see right here on the login page for CT Gateway, you can either log in, get into your application, or there's a link right here to the Small Business Certification Directory. And this is very important, the fact that you don't need to log in. This is part of what makes it such a powerful tool, a powerful marketing tool for you. Public agencies and private sector buyers are using this on a daily basis to look for businesses. And it's important. They do not need to log in, right, to access this. So we definitely encourage you, check this out. I'll give you a quick review. So you can use the simple search or the advanced search. You'll see for the advanced search, there's quite a few parameters that you can use. If you uncheck everything, if you just leave everything blank, you're going to get everything. If you just want current certificates, and anything that you fill in is going to narrow your search. So we're going to click search here. And then you come down here. This is another really key element to the value of this directory. You can generate a report. And this is important because agencies, prime contractors, when they are looking for businesses to work with, they need contact information, right? So you can download it as an Excel, a CSV, or a PDF, and it will include your main contact information, and you'll determine what main contact information you want to share on our directory. Another feature is right down here. Any of these businesses that came up, you can click on the eye and learn more detail about the business. So everything, a certain information, right? Certain publicly, we will not share any financial information, etc., but anything that is publicly available will be on this page, including a link to all of your certificates, all of your past certificates.
So we've come to the end of our main presentation, but before we go, we would like to share several resources with you. Applying for SAM and small business certification are free. In addition, if you need assistance in completing your application, you do not have to pay anyone to help you, as there are free resources available to you. The best place to start is our website, and we're going to do a live demo to navigate you through the resources. So here's the homepage, and it includes a program overview. There is also a language link in the top right-hand corner if you would like to translate the site into a language that is comfortable for you. You can also browse our upcoming events under Connect with Us. And in the Get Certified as a Small Business section, there are several resources available. We'll start on the eligibility page, and here you can review the requirements in more detail. Next, apply in 3 steps, which includes links to all the resources you'll need during the application process, including the SAM step-by-step guide. Our host, the CTAPEX Accelerator, developed this guide, which includes links to helpful videos. We also provide links to the required documents and the FAQs. And finally, the resources page includes a list of our partner organizations that offer free advising and can help you in the application process.
We also offer hands-on clinics in Hartford almost every month. And this is an opportunity for you to come in and get one-on-one support from our DAS Business Access team. Oftentimes it is Nicola. She actually takes most of those clinics. And our host today, CTAPEX Accelerator. We value very much, it's a wonderful partnership that we offer most months of the year, where you can come in, you can get help with your SAM registration, and with your CT Gateway application. And you'll remember Nicola mentioned the on our website, we have a link to our calendar of upcoming events. That info, all of our list of upcoming clinics, along with registration information, is on our website. Our website, really, it's a great tool. So strongly recommend that you visit that.
You can also email us with questions. We are a customer service oriented team and respond fairly quickly. We offer services in English and Spanish, and we will post the website links and emails on this slide in the chat for you.
I think actually we cannot post them in the chat. So what we'll do is
Okay.
share them. Yeah, I will email them over so that those
Okay.
can be shared. All right, so thank you so much for joining us today. A few parting words before we jump into questions. The state of Connecticut, and in particular our procurement division, is very committed to helping more businesses get involved with contracting with the state. So we hope you will take advantage of the many opportunities that are available and join us. We have a couple of more trainings coming up, right? We mentioned next week, May 5th, we're going to go into CTsource. And then later in the month, we are going to come back for a review of our contractor pre-qualification program. So we invite you, please help us spread the word about benefits of contracting with the state. The more businesses that know about these opportunities, the stronger and more connected our community becomes, especially the certification. The more businesses that we can get involved in certification, the more valuable the directory becomes for everyone. So we appreciate your time today, and we will move into questions.
Thank you, Shelley and Nicola. That was a really insightful session, and there's a lot of work that goes into gaining every separate section, right? Whether it's the SAM, whether it's the CTsource, the gateway, all of those sections take a lot of work, a lot of documentation, and we're here to help you every step of the way. So, Yep. Let's get started with the questions. Okay, so we have one question. If I'm a small business under a holding company, do I qualify for the certification? Sally?
Nicola, do you want to grab that one?
Yeah. Yes. The answer to your question is yes. We're certainly going to take a look at the connection and get more information on that, but it's highly likely you are qualified to, at minimum, apply.
Okay. And we have another one. When is the next clinic?
Let's see. It is in May. I can look up the exact date. It's coming up soon. Let's see. It is on May 20th. They are always on Wednesdays. They're always from noon to 2, and they are always in Hartford at the MDC Training Center.
I just want to throw in there that you want to reach out to Kevin Nodwell, and Apex has this information. Reach out to Kevin Nodwell. That's KEVIN.NODWELL at ct.gov. You send him an email, let him know that you would like to attend the clinic, and he will put your name on the list. That information is also on our website, so you can send the email to him, and he'll respond to you to let you know that you're confirmed for the clinic.
Great. That's great. Yes.
Actually,
And
yeah, that email in what I send over to you guys, Andres.
yes, and I personally participated in some of those live trainings, in-person trainings as well. So they're usually very helpful. I own 2 companies. Can I certify both of them as SMBE?
The answer is yes.
Yep. Yeah, I don't see a reason why you couldn't. Both of them should be able to certify. Okay, and now we have a question from Rachel Kaiser. Hi, will you be sharing this presentation, please, or is there a place to watch the replay? Although I registered earlier yesterday, I waited for the Zoom link and didn't get it. I only got plugged into Zoom call after it had started once I re-registered, which was some time into the call today. Thanks. Okay, yes, Rachel, we will be sharing this. Meredith, we'll confirm we will be sharing this
Oh,
recording.
I'm sorry. Actually, we cannot share
Oh,
our PowerPoints, unfortunately.
oh yeah,
So, but
but
we
the
do
recording.
encourage you to go to the website because there is a lot of good information there. And please reach out to us with questions. We are very good at answering our emails. We're we are dedicated to doing that, and
Uh,
we can start a conversation if needed, right?
yeah, I think the question was around the video recording, just not the slides, just the actual recording. Will we be able to share that?
Did you hear that, Shelley?
I don't know. Are you recording? If you are
Yes.
recording, then
Yes.
yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Share the
Okay.
recording. Yes.
Yes. Yes. So yes, we
I
are
just meant the
recording for Meredith.
slides.
Yes. Okay. And I believe there's another question that was answered. Um, let's see. Yeah. So I thought nonprofits could not be small business in SAM. Is that true? And so for those who are unaware, yes, nonprofits are exempt from the small business size standards. So they are ineligible for SBA assistance. But nonprofits can and should register in SAM and identify their correct business type there. So you can always register within SAM, even if you're a nonprofit. It's what allows you to apply for federal grants.
Yeah, and that is why we just have the one threshold for nonprofits, because nonprofits, you can register, you can apply for certification if you're a nonprofit. You do not need to, for our purposes, you do not need to register in SAM.
Okay. Is there any other ones? Let's see. Done. Okay, here we go. Can you put the contact info back up?
Absolutely. Oops, shit. Nicola, are you seeing that?
I am.
Okay.
Okay. So I have another one. I am currently experiencing technical issues with the CT Gateway portal. Specifically, my progress is not being saved, and I did not receive a confirmation after submitting. Is there a preferred browser for the gateway or any troubleshooting steps you would recommend?
Um, send send me an email and I will take a look at it for you. My email is my name, so it's Nicola, Nicola, dot REYNOLDS at ct.gov. Send your information to me and I'll take a look at your application.
Oh, can you share the email address for all the presenters? It's in line.
Yeah, I think, can I actually, I think the only way if I answer one of these, Andres, then I can just drop all of this information into
Sure.
the question and answer, right? Is
That,
that
yeah,
maybe
that
the
would be better.
best?
Yeah, that
All
would
right,
be
let me
better.
do that. I will, let's see.
Okay. Yeah, another question. If we didn't get the URL for Gateway, I have just copied. Okay, you're going to answer this one. Okay. I've just copied what showed up in the URL field as you demoed. It is this one.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, it is not letting me do this.
Oh, you can type it inside. Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah, it's not, sorry. I'm gonna have to email this. And I'll include Nicola in my email address as well
Okay, that'd be
when
great.
I send this out.
And I think that's all the questions there. Alrighty. Well, with all the questions being addressed at the moment, We'd like to thank you all from Connecticut Apex and DAS for participating today and coming to learn about how you can, get contract ready with the state of Connecticut. With that, thank you and have a good day.
Well, thank you so much for having
Thank you,
us
everyone.
today. We love
Indeed.
doing this, so thank you.
Bye.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
All right, bye-bye.
And then you can just hit stop webinar and webinar, whatever the option is.